Good morning. How is everybody? So I am stocking up on a key component of food source that is phenomenal for autoimmune conditions. And in that very nature, it is also fantastic for supporting our immune system. Now, I'm going to warn any of my vegan friends out there that if you're going to be watching this video, I'm going to be using animal bones to make bone broth. So if you don't want to see me do this, then don't watch the video. Simple as that. So those of you that want to learn, hey, g'day, I'm excited to share this with you. Now, the reason why I have been starting to drink, or why I started to drink bone broth to begin with, was because I have an autoimmune condition called rheumatoid arthritis, and the research that I have done for my own health indicates that a leaky gut is the source for a majority of autoimmune conditions. This is my research. I'm not a doctor and I'm not a nutritionist. What I've done for my health. So I have found that when I do drink bone broth and the support that it gives my body with the minerals and just the really healthy saturated fats that heal my tummy and therefore heal my body. I'm going to give you links to different sources that you can go and research yourself. Right now, I'm going to show you how to make it. So I'm going to make 2 lots of bone broth, 1 beef, 1 chicken. Now for the beef one, these are all the beef bones here. So I just went to my butcher and I asked him for 2 kilos of beef bones. And what you'll find is that there are all these marrow through here. This is all what we want to go into the broth. Now, before you do anything with beef bone, you want to soak it for 30 minutes in cold water. So I'm going to leave them in my sink as that all fills up, and they are going to soak for 30 minutes. In the meantime, I've turned on my slow cooker. So this smaller one that I've got here, I'm going to cook chicken in, and I have got a larger one here, which I'm going to put the beef bones in. I don't know the size of them, but again, I'll put them inside the show note recipes. Now, with the chicken carcass, normally I use the entire chook, the legs, the wings. I even get some of the feet. The feet are really gelatinous, and they make the broth like a jelly when it's cold. And then when you heat it up, it totally dissipates, and it creates a fantastic broth for your gut that you can then go and make soups with, or put into any type of dish. You could even, the beef one, I've even just drunk it on its own. I've heated it up and then had it with freshly ground up ginger. So for some reason today my butcher didn't have the whole chicken carcass. They just had the actual frame of the chook. So I don't have any legs or anything. I've just got the frame of the chook. No legs, no wings, no feet. It's all that they had, so I'm just going to taste what they've got. Now the chicken carcass, I'm going to put it into the smaller one. You don't need to soak these bones. Now the best thing about making broth is that you can use any of your old vegetables, like celery, for example. Anything that's inside your fridge that you have as scraps. So fantastic to use. Like I never cook with onion anymore. I always use fennel. So I'm going to use some old fennel. Celery is fantastic to use because it creates a sweetness inside your dishes, inside your soups, especially when you're cooking with broth. So I'm just washing off the little ends of them. And I'm going to cut these guys up. I'm also going to be using some old kale, and I've got some carrot as well. Then you also want to have some bay leaf and apple cider vinegar. So the apple cider vinegar that I use is the Bragg's. Yeah. So let's just chop these guys up. Now, it doesn't matter how you chop these guys up because they're just going to go into the broth, and once the broth is cooked, you're then going to strain it. So you're not going to eat these vegetables whole like that, they're going to totally disintegrate and make part of your broth. So you can't even really see what I'm doing there. There you go. So I've just chopped them all up quite coarsely. And then even with the carrots, which aren't old, I bought a packet of carrot the other day. And I'm just going to give these guys a rinse. Now, I'm chopping up enough vegetables to make 2 broths. 1 chicken, 1 beef. And again, like I said, I'm leaving them quite roughly chopped up. Now, whenever I cook with veggies and I want to wash my fruit, I always make a mixture of white vinegar and lemon, and then scrub the veggies down that way. These guys have already been washed once like that. I'm just giving them an extra rinse. So let's put the chicken carcass into the smaller slow cooker. And chicken's a little different to beef. Chicken will only need, you could do 4 hours. These frames are just so little that it wouldn't take that long. So I've got 2 chicken carcasses here. I'm going to pop them into the slow cooker. And then you cover the bones with water, with cold water. Now, cold water, I've got some water from the fridge here, helps to leach out the minerals from the bones. So I'm going to use some room temperature water. And then I'm going to cover the rest of it with some cold water. So you want enough that the entire chicken frame is covered. Could do with a little bit more. Wicked. And then you use 2 tablespoons of your apple cider vinegar. I really like Bragg's. I like that it's got the mother inside there at the bottom. So 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. Now the apple cider vinegar is what helps to leach all the minerals from the bones. And I'm going to put some of the carrots. I'm leaving most of the carrots for the beef because there's a lot more beef in there. And separate some of these. So I've got some celery, I've got some kale. Put that all in there. Put some extra water in there. And then the last key thing I'm going to put in here, a bay leaf. You could also, actually I'm going to put some black pepper in there. I love cooking with bay leaf. I just add such a wonderful flavour to everything. And black pepper. And if you've got green peppercorns, you can use that too. Beautiful. I'm going to give that a little press down. So everything gets a chance to be in the water. Good. And I have got that on low. And now that's going to cook. I'm going to leave that in there for a good 4 hours. Probably even 6 because I want it to get really gelatinous. So the beef's been in there for, I reckon, about 5 or so minutes. So I'm going to push pause and come back to you when that's ready. Talk to you soon. Yeah, so half an hour's gone by. I'm going to get my beef bones out and we're going to start placing them into the slow cooker. So the chicken's been on for about, it's been a little bit longer than half an hour to be honest. But in this time, personally, having been a vegan for some time, as I was exploring different ways of looking after my health. So I didn't eat meat for a really long time. I went on a complete autoimmune diet of not eating any meat and only eating vegetables to eradicate certain things from my body. And to be honest, no one can tell you how to look after yourself best. I don't get into discussions with a lot of people about it. Also because my husband is a vegan, so I only ever really cook like this when he's not home, out of respect for him. And he has respect for me in that, knowing I am doing the best that I can to look after myself. My biggest gripe with having an autoimmune condition is having to take synthetic medicine. On one hand, I am completely grateful that I live in a country that I have access to medicines that can stop my body from becoming deformed, which is what rheumatoid arthritis will eventually do if you leave it unchecked. It can also affect the ligaments of your eyes and your heart, give you severe fatigue, brain fog. It's awful. I'm not even going to talk about other different illnesses because I don't have the authority to, but over my own body I do. So I'm grateful that I can take a biologic medicine, which I self-administer subcutaneously every fortnight. If I don't leave my stress levels, if I leave them unchecked, or if I have booze, or if I drink coffee, things like that. If I eat tomatoes, I know onion affects me. I always ferment my garlic. I'll do that in another video for you. But I do my best to eat foods that are alkaline for my system, and in which case my body recovers really, really well from any type of inflammation. So my beautiful husband, he just wants me to be healthy. And in return, I cook food that serves me, and then I always make him a separate meal that is vegan for him. So, you know, I can talk about that with you guys if you have that happening in your household. I'm incredibly grateful that I'm in a relationship that is mature enough to respect each other's differences. So I have strained the bones and I'm placing them inside my beautiful whopping big, I reckon this would be about a 4-litre container. So the bones go in, and you only ever cook it on a low heat, okay? I personally choose to do the slow cooker because I don't want to deal with my my stovetop being left on overnight. I just can't handle that thought. So these beautiful freshly cut bones that I always say prayers over the animal that it's come from. This was one of the things that I took from my time as being a vegan, was to respect the animal. The first time I ate meat again, I was severely anemic, severely depressed, craving. I was dreaming about eating steak. And the Chinese doctor that I was seeing at the time said to me, "You're a yoga teacher, right? And you teach people how to listen to their bodies. So why are you ignoring yours?" And that just woke me up, yeah? So I went to a butcher in Perth. I went to Mondo's and researched and found that they are the ones that they looked after their animals the best. They were organic meat. It was all grass-fed. And I said to them, "I'm coming from being a vegan. I need to eat meat again." And he kind of giggled and said, "You're coming over to the dark side." And I said, "Look, I don't know what cut of meat should I go for that's not going to gross me out and make me feel awkward?" And he's the one that spoke about treating the animal with respect. You know, if you're going to eat it, like, treat it with respect, and gave me this beautiful cut of sirloin, told me how to cook it. And when I was doing it, I actually felt my mouth salivate. When I went to eat it, I said a prayer over the animal and thanked it for its strength. And after the first bite, I kid you not, the response in my body was like I just had a massive hit of like lust. I can't describe it as anything else. Every single cell of my body woke up. It was responding with an almighty thank you. Thank you for feeding me. And that's how I knew I was on the right path. Now, I don't eat meat all the time. Like I said, I'm making a broth right now. But I do love to have the broth. I have the broth. I drink it every day, morning and night. Sometimes I'll just go through, here's my bay leaf. Sometimes I'll just go through drinking it, heating it up with some freshly pounded ginger, and that'll be it, you know. I love to put my doTERRA oils inside my broths as well. I don't put it in, as you can see, I'm not putting it in here. I've got peppercorns now, I always do things by hand, like a little bit, it'd probably be equivalent of a teaspoon. And then we're putting in cold water and covering it over. Now this guy is going to cook probably for about 30 hours. So it's going to be on now, it's 9 a.m. and it won't come off until tomorrow afternoon. I'm getting some more water. So guys, if you are wanting to improve your health, your well-being and vitality, you know, don't just take it from me. I'm showing you how I make mine. There are plenty of people out there that can teach you how to make broths, how to better look after yourself. Do your own research. I'm just showing you one of the ways that I do mine. When the chicken comes off, I'll show you what that looks like. This one here will take a little bit longer to do, but I'll show you a photo of what it looks like once I finish covering it all with water. Geez, I'm running out of water in the house. Okay, sorted the situation out. I put too many bones in here and it was too full. So I'll just give you a quick little peek view of this now. You should always leave at least 2 centimeters distance on the top here because the liquid's going to swell, right? So then I just took out some bones and I put them into a pot on my stove top, and you can see that there are lots of liquid inside there. What I'll do once my chicken here finishes cooking, which will be in about 4 hours, I'll then transfer what's on the stove top into there and then leave these 2 going for the next day and a half. So there's my first video in making bone broth. I hope you've been able to follow it. So the ingredients that I used: 2 kilos of beef bones, scraps of veggies. I used celery, fennel, carrot. I use a bit of kale. I even put some leek in there. 2 bay leaves, a teaspoon of black peppercorns, and 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. The beef I'm leaving to cook in the slow cooker. So the idea is that you put it on high. You want to bring it to boil. So the one on my stove top in here is going to bring to boil, and then pop it down on low. Okay, anywhere between look, I'd say 24 to 72 hours, depending on how thick and gelatinous you want it. And the chicken anywhere between 4 and 12 hours. The smaller carcass, like what I'm using, I'm just using 4 hours. So hope you find some benefit in that. Enjoy, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.